History Faux Show with Devin Frost and Zach Monroe, the show where we tell you everything about anything ever. There's been numerous scandalous rumors floating around about the Harding administration, the most recent of which is being about Attorney General Harry Daughtry. The Senate is investigating him for selling illegal pardons and liquor permits. He's being tried for a second time this year and might even face many years in prison. Hey buddy, if you have any more of those permits left, maybe throw in my way. I'll get you on the show, give you some free publicity. Anyway, think about it. After President Harding's untimely death, some disturbing reports have surfaced about the swearing in of his successor, Calvin Coolidge. The presidential oath was allegedly administered by his father in his childhood home. While people are just picking and choosing whatever jobs they want, I like to name myself the supreme potentate of all illegal/legal alcoholic substances. SPLIES for short.
Place your hand on the book. Do you, Devin Frost, swear to rule this order with an iron fist?
I do.
Kneel. Drink. Rise, Devin, as ruler and supreme potentate of the order of illegal and legal alcoholic substances.
Thank you. It's a three-way race for the presidency between Coolidge, John Davis, and Robert La Follette. Hopes are high for the Republicans, as Coolidge seems to have the distinct advantage between the nominees. His honesty and conscious demeanor has endeared him to the American people, and I think his path to a second term is fairly easy. However, I think we should make this thing a four-way race. Right now, I'm announcing my run for the President of the United States. Even though I have no political experience, and I host the second worst rated news show on television, I'm looking at you, one-time only show, I'm generally disliked by the public. I think I may have a chance. My party, the AA, will stand behind me. Thank you. Welcome to my new segment, Reviews with Devin. Every few weeks, I'll choose 3 current movies, albums, books, or artists to critique. For each topic, I'll give the blue seal of approval, half seal of approval, or the red stamp of displeasure. This week, I'll be covering the new film, The Jazz Singer, The King and Carter Jazzing Orchestra, and the new novel, The First Sir Percy, by Baroness Orczy. Last night, I took my wife down to the Cardinal Performance Hall to see the King and Carter Jazzing Orchestra. The drinks were good, but the music made my ears bleed. The fact that it was performed by black men made it that much worse. At least they weren't women. I give the red stamp of displeasure. However, I've heard that some white bands are performing, so I might give jazz a second shot. I don't have very much time to read these days, but I have managed to pick up the novel, The First Sir Percy, by Baroness Orczy. It follows the adventures of Sir Percy through Finland, and his various encounters with danger. It's a pretty dry read, but I came to like the imagery and the style. I did enjoy this book, but sadly, I have to get the half seal of approval because the author's a woman. Last weekend, I had the privilege of going to an advanced screening of The Jazz Singer with a few other famous personalities. I did notice that the host of the one-time only show was not there. When the movie opened, I was incredibly disappointed to see that the main character was black. However, about halfway through the movie, I found out that the star was none other than Al Jolson, who had been black-faced. After that, I started enjoying the movie a whole lot more. I'll give it the half seal of approval. Well, that's the end of my segment, folks. We'll be back with a few interviews after a short commercial break.
Have you been evicted from your home? The new and improved part of town, Hooverville, welcomes you. Recline on a plush piece of cardboard and take a luxurious bath in the river of waste, publicly accessible to all. Nibble on a nightly gourmet entree fresh from the garbage can and cozy up under the thick, warm newspaper Hoover blankets, which you can now find in Saturday or Sunday editions. Perhaps the most exciting new addition to Hooverville are the storytellings by veterans in the gory war Call 1-800-HOMELESS-HOOVER to book your patch of sidewalk today. Open spaces filling up fast. Don't wait. Hooverville! Hooverville! Who is going to Hooverville? You are going to Hooverville! Hooverville! Hooverville!
Action. Hello, I'm Win Scorup, and I'm here with an American banker. The Great War changed the whole world. What are some changes that you have seen concerning the economy particularly?
Well, during the war, the government took control of the railroads, but since the war is over, the tracks have been returned to private ownership, so we're not seeing those funds anymore. Also, since the end of the war, many of our funds have been put into insurance policies for our hero veterans.
Well, you say that skeptically, but our economy has been doing better than ever recently. They're expecting a change anytime soon.
Excuse me, you are correct. The Allies owe us so much money, and so many foreign countries were purchasing goods from us during the war that our economy is prospering. The one exception would be the farmers, who have been struggling greatly now that those countries aren't trading with us anymore.
Well, this is partially America's fault, though. Am I correct?
Well, we did increase the tariff in an attempt to help the farmers, but Britain just raised their own tariff in response, and now they aren't even trading with us very much anymore. So I guess you could say that, but how are we supposed to know?
Okay, I have one more question for you. You said earlier that the Allies owe America a lot of money, but they can't profit off of global commerce. How are they supposed to pay us back?
That's their problem. It definitely isn't up to us to help them out. We have helped them enough already.
Well, I'm afraid that's all the time we have. Thank you for having the interview.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Win Scorup, and I'm here with a German banker who's about to share her views on the end of World War I. Your country has suffered a monumental defeat. What do you think about that?
You Americans, you don't have to rub it in.
Well, okay, calm down. How's your country doing economically?
Well, what do you think? We just lost a war. We have enough problems to deal with, and then you allies go and say, we have to pay you $32 billion? We aren't exactly partying right now.
Well, could you elaborate on that? What is the other problems that you're talking about?
Well, inflation is through the roof. I went to buy a loaf of bread the other day, and it cost me over 3 billion marks. Our country is completely decimated, and as I said, we have to pay $32 billion in reparations.
Well, good news. Now you can borrow money from the U.S. and pay back Britain with the recent Dawes plan.
Well, yeah, we have been able to pay Britain back a small amount, but do you really think that's going to help a whole lot? I think that the only help is our promising Adolf Hitler.
Why do you say that America is greedy for desiring to be paid back for all the aid they lent you during the war?
Britain gave up the lives of many of its men, fine men whose lives should not have been taken, and while America has lent us their money, very few Americans died in World War I. Does it not make sense that Britain paid for the war in lives, and that the least America can do is to contribute to the cost of the war in which they participated in by paying for a portion with money? Why must Britain pay with both lives and money? Each country involved must take on the responsibility of a portion of the cost of the war. It is only fair.
Well, I'm sure that you have heard of America's Dawes plan, in which America will loan money to Germany, who will in turn pay Britain back for the war, and Britain will use that money to pay America the $10 billion that America is owed. So Germany will take the baton of debt to America. Does this make you feel better about your future economy?
I suppose it seems like an awfully long process and will have no benefit for America, who will still have debt owed to them, but as long as Britain is out of debt, I am pacified.
All right, that's all the time I have here. We'll be back after a quick commercial break.
Welcome to the new age of farming with the all-new 1925 Baylor tractor. Plow fields, sow seeds, and increase productivity. All your friends have one. Don't fall behind. Save money with your tractor that will do the job of multiple horses and men. Buy yourself a tractor, baby, buy it now. It can sow and plow your fields easy, wow. You don't need horses and you don't need men. All you need is your baler and you. Oh, baby, baby, baler, baby, buy yourself a tractor. Buy yourself a tractor. Buy yourself a tractor today. Yeah.
Hello, folks. So tonight things are going to be a bit different. This man back here will be interviewing our illustrious, slightly horrible President Herbert Hoover. So, yeah.
I'm going to start now. Hi, my name's John Smith. I used to be a very wealthy man until the stock market crashed. Right now, my family's homeless and starving. I'm here to question the leader of our country who has our best interests at heart. Mr. President, when you first entered the presidency, how did you plan to help serve our country?
Oh, I think government just kind of keeping their hands off things, but also working with large corporations to keep wages up.
Oh, is that so?
It's the best route to take.
Is that so? Working with large corporations, big businesses.
Pretty much.
Are these the same big businesses that cut wages by 12%, left a prosperous country in ruin, and basically used strikebreakers when the workers were being taken advantage of?
I can't say no.
Oh, so yeah, that's right. That's what I know. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, in this big business only environment, how did you plan to give the individual a chance?
Well, the main thing is I invited the CEOs and bosses of these companies up to the White House, and I tried to get them to keep wages the same and not lay off workers, but if you haven't noticed, we're in the middle of a depression. Things are tight right now. Business can't go throwing their money away.
Yeah, and whose fault is that, I wonder? Give the individual a chance. Try and work it out. Really? Have you been outside? You talk about the depression, but my family eats rotten food to get by.
Oh, you think...
When you sit at dinner with businessmen at the White House, living off the fat of the land.
You think I brought us into this depression?
That's right. You did nothing. You watched the entire country go to hell and didn't say a word. It's your own damn fault.
Well, I might not have done anything, but the American people and you have made it very clear to me that you want government intervention in these things. And I have tried to make programs that will help the little guy, as you say, like get jobs, like the Hoover Dam.
Help the government or help yourself? I think that there was a certain Hoover Dam that you just mentioned that literally has your name all over it. And even though it employed a large majority of Americans, exactly 5,000 or roughly right around there, what happened to them after the dam was finished and after you put your name on it?
They were lucky to get that.
They were starving, and the government didn't give a blank.
They were lucky to get that work during the Depression. It helped them get food, it helped them get money. I mean, you can't ask for much more these days.
I didn't say that the government shouldn't spend money. I totally think that that's fine. I just think that A, you shouldn't be spending our government money, and B, the money should be spent wisely on programs that last. Programs that can sustain Americans' lifestyles.
I have done more than any past president to help with these programs and stuff. I have created more programs than any president has ever. Yes,
yeah?
I have.
So, like, what have you done? Signed some bills? Is that what you've done?
Yes, I
have.
have.
Well, that's exactly it. You just signed. You don't think. The American people deserve and need a president who actually cares about them, who will actually listen to the little guy. You went to Stanford, right?
Yeah.
Well, I too am a Stanford man, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Yeah, that's right. Me, the hobo, that you put in jail. Not in jail. You put me into this depression. I would not be here. I was a very wealthy man until I was stuck thanks to your bills. So anyway, you went to Stanford, I went to Stanford. There's a big difference. I didn't waste my time at Stanford drinking booze and sleeping with people.
Oh,
all right?
okay.
I actually learned something.
I don't have time
You
for
should have
this.
thought about it.
I'm done here.
That's right. In America, that was our illustrious president.
So that hobo's going to jail. Thanks for watching tonight, folks. This has been History Faux Show, and we wish you Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good night.